Alright students, fine girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen, a very special good evening to one and all. Okay, hoping you all are fine, fabulous as always. By the way, this is myself Shabnam from the code Ark, and we welcome you all at the day 23 of our full stack web development program. Okay, we would be glad in case if you could acknowledge us in the chat section. Audibility, visibility, all clear and set. My OBS is reconnecting. Okay, fine. For a moment I was buffering and I'm back here. We were talking about the concept of arrays in JavaScript. Is it right? The collection of data in a single variable, that's called as an array. We got messages post lecture by some of our friends confirming that array can store data of different data type as well. Answer is yes, unlike CC++. Okay, where array is of again a data type. Say an integer array can store only integers, a string array can store only string, and a float array can store only float. Okay, but if you talk about languages like JavaScript or Python, there is no such fixed rule. If a variable is declared as an array, that means you can declare data of or initialize data of any data type. Is that okay? Fine. Alright, we also learned some functions associated with array or some properties as well, like length of an array. Am I right? We wanted to find out some value at a particular index number. Indexes are nothing but the position numbers of different data element in the array. Is that correct? In fact, that program is also right here with me. Okay, so these were the different functions about array we were talking about, like push and pop. Right? Push is a function of an array. Pop is a function of an array. Length is used to find out the length of an array. Correct? What else we had seen? Okay, we saw how to sort an array. But sorting always sorts array in ascending order by default. So if you want to display the data in descending order, you simply write reverse. The sorted array will be reversed. Okay, friends, we are audible to you, right? We would like to confirm from your end one more time. Audibility is all clear, correct? We are audible to you. Okay. Okay, fine. We go ahead from here. Good evening, Saurav. Good evening, everyone else as well. Okay, people, fine. Now listen to me one thing. Listen to our agenda as well as the strategy of the class today. First of all, the topic array is not yet completed. I am still left to show you a few more functions like join and concatenation, how it happens in array. We are still left to learn two different methods to create an array. Okay, thank you. Okay, one using new method, another using what we have already learned. Okay, fine. So these simple functions are yet left. What do you mean by shift and what do you mean by unshift? These functions of array, right? But since we have just started the class and all of us are here with a fresh mind, let us first start studying a challenging topic. Okay, audible. Thank you everyone who acknowledge in the chat section. Okay, so with the fresh mind, let us first introduce ourselves to the most important topic of JavaScript, that is people, object-oriented programming. Okay, now the concept of object-oriented programming, in short called as OOP. Guys, in short, we call this as OOP. Is that okay? Fine. Now this is too lengthy part. This is a very lengthy topic. So I have divided this into two parts. One we'll do today, since we are here today for 1.5 hours. And the second part will continue on Monday. Alright, but if possible, last 10-15 minutes of the class today, I'll go to array back and complete those remaining functions. Alright, your question bank is right in our mind. We are working upon it and very soon we will release it. Is that okay? Fine. Chaliye. Now without losing our focus, try to concentrate. Here we start. Now one thing I would like to tell you, if you really aim to work as a full stack developer in industry outside, object oriented programming actually mark the beginning of coding, in my opinion. You understood? This is from OOP where we actually start becoming a perfect developer. Understood? Like, things were too unorganized up until now. You understood? Sab haywire idhar udhar kidhar bhi tha. But it is object oriented programming who gives us a definite approach of coding, a straight path. It guides us a straight path, help us to write and achieve clear code. Alright, fine. Okay, now for the next few minutes I will only define the concept of OOPs to people. I have one doubt in the sort method. Okay, Shreyas, you put your doubt in the chat section. I'll come to you. Okay, whatever is the doubt in the sort method, put your doubt in the chat section. Whenever it's possible from my end, I'll come back to you. Okay, guys, listen to my strategy again. For the next few minutes, I'll theoretically describe you the concept of OOP. Better you understand theory of OOP today, easier it will become for you to grasp it in Python also. And in fact, tomorrow if you learn full stack development as a Java developer, Java full stack developer, understood? Our track we have framed as per the Python full stack developer people. आप कल को Java full stack developer के role designation से भी काम करते हो, then also the concept of OOP is same almost everywhere. Okay, so here this is my point number 1. Let me open a notepad. Okay. Alright, people. What is the principle of OOPs? What object oriented programming says? Before coding any object. Now I keep a question mark here. What is an object? We'll see that later. Clear? If you do not understand object, I type here before coding any concept. Temporarily for a time being. Right? Make sure that before you code any object, it is designed first. Alright, now what is the meaning of this point? Look, I talk to you in terms of our simple real world. Okay, so this is a bottle in my hand. This is a kind of bottle in my hand. Now, before the manufacturer of this bottle might have manufactured it, this bottle might have been designed first, right? हमने इसको पहले डिजाइन बनाया होगा इसका. Similarly, I can see there is a chair next to me. So before this chair was manufactured, it might have been designed by the manufacturers, right? Say I sit and using my paper, pen, book, I draw what design I prefer. Okay, this way, that way, straight, slant, bending. ऐसा करेंगे तो अच्छा लगेगा, नहीं वैसा अच्छा लगेगा, नहीं इधर से लॉन्ग रहेगा तो ठीक रहेगा. So out of this 10, 20, 30, 40 sample designs which are submitted, the one which was approved finally will get converted into end product. Is that okay, all of us? Fine. So this is what is the meaning of design. Before any object is created or before any concept is to be coded, make sure that it is designed first. Alright, now what is the reason behind that? Because once you design an object, it is easy to duplicate the copies of it, correct? It is easy to make duplication of the copies out of it. For example, once this bottle was designed, now using design as a blueprint. You understand blueprint people? Sample or सांचा. हिंदी में हम बोलते हैं सांचा है. Is that clear? Fine. So using the design as a blueprint, we are going to manufacture other bottles. Is it? So what is the benefit? To manufacture other bottle, we don't have to spend once again the same time for designing. Okay, this one example I have given in many of my previous other classes as well. If you have ever attended, like if you go into your kitchen, if you could see your parents or mom or any of your well-wisher, am I right? Making some kind of puri or karanji, they have that one kind of sancha with them. Is that correct? Right? They use the special design utensil, let me call it as, to give a proper shape to your puris and all. I mean, now what is the use of that? What is the use of that? Because once I make use of that design template, I will not have to spend time behind finishing for each and every product. Is that okay? Fine. So this is exactly what object-oriented programming says us. Like the way it happens in the world outside, external world, before the object is been made, it is designed first. Even in coding, we are the programmers. हमारा product तो software ही है भाई. Am I right? We are not like people who manufacture pen or bottle or chair. Correct or not? We are no such people who manufacture laptop and mouse and keyboard or bulb or fridge and TV. What we develop for the company or for the client is a software. तो हमारा product तो software है. So make sure every object that you code in your software, before it has been coded, it is designed first. Okay, last time to be spoken, because once the design is ready, the prototype people, the design is ready, it becomes easier to duplicate the design and generate uski carbon copy. Time will be saved, code will be saved, efforts will be saved, etc. Alright, now from this 3-4 minute round and round story, I would like to pick up 2 words here. So in object-oriented programming, this master design is called as a class, and the copies which we create or generate out of class is called as its object. Is that okay? So these are the 2 terms we have coined in OOP. Okay, let me give title of this entire topic as OOP. In object-oriented programming, the design is always called as a class. Alright, and the copies which we create out of the class is called as nothing but its object. Is that fine? Okay, before we could go ahead from here, guys, if someone could write or acknowledge in the chat section, is the theory so far clear? You are absolutely clear with the theory part of OOP, correct? Up until now. Okay, remember one thing, once the design is ready, it is easy to copy the design and create another object. Am I right? Fine. Say for a bottle, people, for a bottle. Okay, we will make one sample type of the bottle, and the other bottles will simply take a shape of it and keep getting manufactured. Clear? Thank you. Right, so that one master design is called as a class, and other copies just have to take shape of that design. People, other copies just have to take the shape of that design and become its object. Okay, Naveen says explain again, ma'am. Take it. I explain you in another 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, pay attention. Say we are a company. We are a company who manufacture this product. Okay, now I don't have any product with me here. Okay, let me say this remote. Could you see that? I hope you got my point. But every time we manufacture the body of this remote, Naveen and other friends, हर बार हम जब ये remote की body बनाते हैं, see, this is a part of the remote. Here goes its cells. Here comes the button. The buttons on the remote must be something oval or cylindrical here. बीच में कहीं पर बड़ा button है. Somewhere it is a rectangular here, somewhere it is a circular here. But do you think to manufacture every remote, every time we spend time in designing this product or model of the product? No. Am I right? One design is made fixed, and other products simply have to, or the other model of this remote simply have to copy that design to be manufactured or to be produced, right? Fine. Similarly, the company who manufactures this bottle might have designed the prototype of the bottle, or maybe the design of the bottle, or maybe the shape of the bottle. That's the word I use somewhere in between while speaking, जिसको हम हिंदी में बोलते like a सांचा. Am I right? Have you ever come across the word die? Anybody from here? Anybody from my friends who are present here, ever have you come across the word die? Die, people, die. You know, when I was teaching this topic in one of the class, a very good example by the student, even to make a lot of, Ganpati Murti, you understood, Murti, the artisans who work there, they also make use of die. You understand? So that every time, like, we don't have to be perfect in giving shape, like we have the special dies ready, we just have to use the die and give it a shape. Yes, that's what I want to say. Okay, another example in our real life world I gave you is like, when you make some karanji or puri at home, you know how that equipment which works to press the puri inside, it gives it a proper shape, right? So what is the use of that equipment? It works as a design component, correct? So this is one thing. What is the meaning of a design? Remember, if you keep a design ready, it is very easy to duplicate the design and manufacture the product, correct or not? Am I right? It is very easy to duplicate the design and manufacture the product. Design is ready, you just have to keep making a replica out of it. Alright, a little similar kind of example I gave you. Look, it's not absolutely what we are going to do here the same. A little similar. Have you ever seen sometimes shopkeepers writing bill? People writing bill. While they are writing on the main copy of the bill, they keep a carbon paper below. Carbon paper, people, or blue color जैसा जो पन्नी आती है. They keep one carbon paper below, so that when they are writing on the main copy, multiple other copies below the carbon paper also gets duplicated. Others, is this example clear? When I am writing on the bill, other copies below the carbon paper also gets duplicated or copied or generated. Am I right? But only the main one where I wrote was the master copy. Wahi master copy hai. Is it okay? And the rest is nothing but your duplicates. Yes, thank you. How it works in a program. Yes, Bharat, we have not yet come to the coding part yet. This is only the concept of OOP I am making clear in the mind. Good. Alright, fine. Navin was asking me the question. Explain me again, ma'am. Is that clear now? Are you clear with the concept or still you want me to explain again? Right, so the two words we have coined here. Come on, let's put full stop to the story. इसका अंत करते हैं यहाँ तक, please. The design people, which is the master copy, that is called as a class. And the copies replicated, means duplicated out of master, that is called as its object. I hope you got my point. Is it right? For class या design के लिए, guys, see how many examples I used. I told you die. Am I right? I told you die. I gave you an example of that Sancha, etc., etc. Good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Alright. Point number 3. Come on. We raise our standard a little high now. Remember, every object in object-oriented programming. Now you know very well what is an object, right? Object is a copy created out of the class. Correct? One master class is ready. Rest have to just imitate, copy or duplicate it. Okay, there will be one original, that is a class, and the copies are the object. Correct. Correct. Very good. Now, object in object-oriented programming have following features. Okay. Following. When I say following, means only two. Number one, object have properties. And object in object-oriented programming have functions, also called as methods. Okay. Now, let me give you an example. First, take an example of a real life. Any object that you see around you, आप इस वक्त जहां भी बैठे हो, आपके आसपास जो भी आप देखते हो, so I can see an AC working there. Okay. Now, it has some property, it has some function. I'm sitting on the chair, people. I'm sitting here on the chair. Now, this chair also has some property, it has some function. Look, I take this bottle in my hand. It has some property. Property like it is made up of plastic. It is circular in shape. I hope you got my point. It can be gently pressed. It can be gently pressed. It is used, let me not say useful. It is white in color. That is again its property. So remember, property always describe how does an object look like. how does an object or what physical properties it will have. Is that okay? So the chair which is next to me here, I have a chair next to me here, people. This chair is again made up of some metal. It is some meters tall, that means height. It is again can be rotated and all. So these are the properties of the chair. But when you talk about the function, what is this chair used for? इसका काम क्या है भाई? It is used for sitting or maybe relaxing, etc. Right? Similarly, this bottle is round. It is made up of plastic. These are the properties. It defines how does it look. ये दिखती कैसी है? अरे but what is the use of this bottle? इसका काम क्या है? किस काम में आती है ये? Maybe it is used for storing some stuff. It is used for storing some water or maybe some other kind of powder. So that is the use. Right? Once again, this is a small clutch or a purse in my hand. Okay, it's made up of leather. It has a handle. It is brown in color. So these are all the properties. It can be opened. It can be closed. But what is the use? किस काम में आती है? That is called as its function. Is that okay? All of us. Please declare. Is it clear or not? All of us. Fine. I can see the watch in front of me. Watch or a clock. Right? It has two hands, one small hand, one big hand. But what is the use of the watch? It is used to show time. Alright, so every object that you see around you, every object, I hope nothing is useless. Even an useless object has some of the other function. Maybe it is used to give some kind of show or attract the people. Right? So properties always define how an object look like. Okay, and function of an object is always what is the use of it. Is that okay? Good. Fine. So every object, even in object-oriented programming, every object has two features. It has some property. It has some functions. So this was our theory of object-oriented programming up until now. I'm going to come back to this notepad file again. But till then, let us code this part. Let us code this first 2-3 points, and then before understanding a new theory concept, we'll see. Clear? Fine. Okay, so this is my Visual Studio Code. I've already created one new JavaScript file here. HTML file I'm using of day 20 only. Let me remove this. The old JavaScript. So this file has actually nothing. If I could save this, so there is no output up until now. Okay, I have removed everything which is a script tag here. The body is also empty. You see the body is empty. There is no script tag. Only title I change it to day 23. Here we go. Okay, this is my day 23 program1.js. Let me start coding. Point number 1, people. A class in JavaScript is created with the keyword class. Okay, how we have the keyword function to create a function, correct? To create a new function, how we make use of the keyword function? Similarly, to create any design or to create any class, we have a keyword called as class. Okay, I want to create a class animal. Why? I'll answer you later. Let me first go ahead with coding. Right, so class followed by the name of the class. I kept the first letter capital. It is okay even if you write small. There is no such hard and fast rule. And this is the scope of the class. Alright, people, always remember one thing. A design is created first. मतलब class पहले बनती है. Objects are created later. Clear? Because objects are the copies. People, objects are the copies. Say I have a main copy and I go to the shop and I take Xerox of it. Photocopy. You got my point here, guys? See, this is another example. The main copy. Say I have one page. No, I'm not sitting with a book here. Assume I have one page in my hand. A written page. I want to uska Xerox or photocopy. So that main page which I'm holding in my hand is nothing but the class or a design. Others are its blueprints. So let me say other are its copies. Clear? Good. So right now I'm designing the master copy animal. Now I assume every animal will have this 2-3 properties. Number one, animal will have their names. Okay, suppose I give some name to the animal as a dog. Animal will have some color. Say I give name to the color as black, or a value I assign is black. And animal will have some weight. Okay, weight, people, weight. So suppose I give weight to this animal as 30. Alright, I'll come to all of your doubts, people. I'll come to your doubts. As of now, understand what I'm typing here, or what I'm coding. ऐसा assume करते हुए, ये समझ कर चलते हुए. Buffering, I'm waiting for a moment because I'm buffering, I suppose. Okay, I'm back here. I repeat the point in case if you have lost. All of my friends, pay attention now, please. अभी थोड़ा सा ध्यान दो. Suppose there are 50 dogs whose data I have to enter. Is it okay? 50 dogs whose data I have to enter. But for 50 dogs, you are not going to repeat and code this properties name, color, weight, height, name, color, weight, height so many times. Therefore, the properties which are common to the dogs, we have put up in a class called as animal. Or even you wanted, you could have named this class as a dog. Alright, fine. Animal है तो भाई name होगा, भाई dog होगा, type of the animal और color of the animal, weight होगा, उसका height होगा. Animals don't fly, so I'm not writing that option flying or not flying because that is not the property of an animal. Clear? Fine. So this is how the class looks like. This is only to begin. This is just to begin. Of course, the real classes you will be working on is 200% different from what we are coding right now. This is just to begin. Okay. Now see, let's learn how to create an object of the class. Okay. Nothing but design. Okay. Say I want to create an object and store in a variable a1. So I say a1 is equals to, guys, new. Clear? New is an operator to create or to initialize object of the class. I repeat the point again so that you all mug up with me. हम ये point ऐसे grasp कर रहे हैं, never to forget throughout the IT career. In JavaScript, new is a keyword to initialize object of the class. Right? Of course, you have to write name of the class. Name of the class is animal. Because it is possible in the program above the here, there are so many other classes as well. There is another class called as a bird here. Say for example. Okay, for example, I am writing. For example, there is one more class called as class vehicle. One more design. You understood? So you want to store in A1 object of which class? You better write the name of the class. Clear? Fine. But make sure while creating or initializing object of the class, you're writing class name along with round brackets. Okay, I remove this part. Whenever you create an object of the class, you're writing class name along with the round bracket. Now, why I keep this question unanswered here for some time? Okay, around after 15-20 minutes we'll come back to this point, but I want my friends to remember. आप इस बात को याद रखिए. See, while creating the class, we never gave a round bracket here, correct? आप इधर दोगे वो error बताएगा. You see the red mark? So while creating the class or while defining the class, we never initialize the round brackets. But while creating object of this class, you are providing the round braces, correct? Fine. So this question we keep unanswered. Right? Point number 2, friends, point number 2. Now try to understand. आपको ये एक लाइन का कोड लिखने का देरी था. Understood? But you just had to create an object of the class. Now mind you, everything that belongs to the class will also belong to the object. No, Chirag, yeah, it is constructor. Correct. I think he has answered there. I kept the mouth shut because we have not created the constructor in the design. Okay, fine. We'll come to constructor after we have printed the object information. All of us? Fine. Chaliye, coming back to this point again. Once you create an object of the class, for the people who make notes during the lecture, please note down this point. Once you make object of the class, remember, you are doing it on your own risk. Then don't complain later. Don't bother later. Got it? And don't regret later also. Because everything that belongs to the master class will also belong to the object. Is it okay? Fine. ये लगभग ऐसे बोलने के बराबर हो गया. Everything that belongs to my mother also belongs to me. Everything that belongs to my parent or my family also belong to me. Alright? Say my father owns a car. He has purchased the car, but we say our car. Understood? This home has been bought by my mother, but we all the family members here say this is our home. आप बात समझ रहे? What am I talking here? Is it okay? Fine. My sister has bought here the AC, or she has bought here the other stuff, but we say this is our AC. So everything that belongs to the mother class will also belong to its children. Yes, Navin. JavaScript itself is case sensitive. Okay, Navin is asking, is the name of the class case sensitive? Of course, JavaScript itself is case sensitive. Okay, if I write like this, nahi, wo error dega. See, class ka C should be small. Am I right? So, not only the class name, entire JavaScript is case sensitive, people. If you have written here A, you see here it is showing me an error. So here also you have to write A only then. Got it? All of us here, fine. I leave it up to you. You write small a or capital A. It's my habit to give class name with the first letter capital. That's why I'm writing animal here. Is it okay? Come on, make sure in the chat box. Acknowledge to me. Is my last point clear to you? Once you are creating object of the class, 2 times think before you initialize. Because everything that belongs to the class will eventually also belong to its object. Is it okay? Yes. Unless and until you specify using inheritance. Okay. So you want to protect some property. Am I right? You want to protect some property. Say I don't want color also to be inherited by my class. Or maybe you want weight and height only to be given to some object and not to every other object. How to do that? We will learn through inheritance on our part 2 of object-oriented programming. Okay. Raji Guru, this is answer to your question. If you don't specify what is private, what is protected, what to give to the object, what not to give to the object from you, then by default every property is public property. Is that okay? All of us please make this point clear. जब तक वो mother class खुद ना बताए, भाई ये चीज मैं नहीं देना चाहता हूँ, ये भी मैं नहीं शेयर करना चाहती हूँ. हाँ, तो if you don't specify explicitly, the default, by default properties, all of them are the public property. Public means anyone who is my object will be able to access them. Right? So how to prove that? Come on, say print document.write. What is the name of the first property? Name, correct? Name is a property, people. So you can't just write here name. You have to write here a1.name. Now who is a1? A1 is an object. Dot is an operator joining property with an object. Got it? Dot, people, dot over here is an operator joining the property name for this or with this object. Clear? Let's print the output up until now. I hope it is presented. Okay. Script src is equals to day23 program file. I save this. I come here. Okay, it's showing me doc. Is it okay? So similarly, if I want to print, people, if I want to print also the weight and color of the dog, if you don't mind, can I give comma and write here a1.color, a1.weight, as well as a1.height. Save. Okay, so dog black 3050. You find it little uneasy, use ln. Okay, if it's still not working, then we'll give the space here. Okay, ampersand nbsp. I leave that part to be done by you. HTML formatting in between, वो आप कर लेना. As of now, the output is showing to me as a1.name, a1.color, weight and height. So name dog, black, color 30, weight 50, height. Is it okay? Fine. People, now I want to create another object, that is a2, also a new animal. Okay, but mind you, this time the animal doesn't have a name dog. The name of the animal is cat. Hi, are you getting my point? The name of the animal is not dog. The name of the animal is cat. So what will you do? In that case, you will rewrite the property. Okay, a2.name is equals to cat. Huh? Class के बाहर, people, class के बाहर, if object is you rewriting the property, this is called as overwriting. Then priority will be given to the new or overwritten data rather than class data. Okay, what is the meaning of this code? A2 has rewritten the property name to cat. Okay, fine. A2 has rewritten the property color to black. Let me not change the color. I don't want to change the color. You want to change. I want to change the weight. Change the weight of the cat to, say, 10 kg. Okay, or let me change it to 5. Cat's height is, let me say in centimeter, around 25. Kitten, maybe this cat, or maybe 125, whatever you want to say. Okay, acha, meter kar rahe ho aap, to let me call it as 0.5. Is it okay? If you consider in meter, that's altogether a different issue. So you see what all I have changed. A2 has changed the property value of the property name to cat, value of the property weight to 5, and value of the property height to 0.5. Okay, check. Is it all happening or not? So I say document.write. Document.write. Let me give some break here so that it goes to the new line. A2.name, A2.color, A2.height, A2.weight. Okay, you can display in any order. You want to display color first. That's your choice. So if I could save and come back here. Okay, cat, black, 0.5 as a height and 5 as a weight. Am I right? If someone could acknowledge, are you understanding till here? Is everything till here very much clear? Come on, quick people. Pranali, Saurav, Rakesh, Navin, Raji, Bharat, Shreyas. Is it clear up until now? Everything? And if not, suppose. If not, then let me know what part is not clear. Okay, thank you. Okay, क्या नहीं समझा फिर वो बताइए. Very much clear. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, you know what? My actual work again starts now. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Krishnan. Thank you. Okay, suppose I want to store information about 3 more animals. Good. 3 more animals. Say cow, buffalo and bullock. Okay, so see what happens now. Okay, this is about cow. Okay, animal cow. Right, so I say a3 is equals to new. Let me create an object of this class animal first. Animal. Okay, a3.name, say cow. Yes, Navin, but color black is taken from the class. Others, can you solve Navin's problem, friends? That I did intentionally, Navin. वो मैंने जानबूझ के किया ऐसा. Just to leave an impression that certain properties, if you don't want, you can not change also. It's not compulsory. That if you're changing one property, you should change all other properties also. Got it? Okay. So, name is cow. And let me say color is white. Okay. Let me say height is say 2 meter. Okay, 2 meter. Ideally I thought of centimeter, but it's let us express in meter. Height say 2 meter, a3 dot weight say 100. Okay, fine. So if I could say document dot write, people document dot write. You see, this work is so tedious. ये कितना गंदा काम है. Again and again we have to repeat the same code. A1.name, A1.color, A1.weight, A1.height, A2.name, A2.color, A2.height, A2.weight, A3.name, A3.height, and so on. Correct? So what I decide, for upcoming 3 more animals, again this code will be repeated. So let us go in the design, because this is common to everyone. Am I right? This function is common, displaying everybody's detail. You are getting my point or not? एनिमल का ऑब्जेक्ट बनाने के बाद ये वाला फीचर सब एनिमल के लिए कॉमन है. दिस फंक्शन इज कॉमन, डिस्प्लेइंग देयर डिटेल. सो लेट अस क्रिएट वन फंक्शन डिस्प्ले. पीपल डिस्प्ले. ओके, डू नॉट राइट द कीवर्ड हियर इनसाइड द क्लास. ये क्लास के अंदर लिखने का जरूरत नहीं होता है. You have to write the keyword function only if you are creating function outside the class, not inside. Is it okay, my friends? I repeat this point again. Only when the functions are created outside the class. You see, in the previous lectures we have created so many functions. If I could go to it, some last 2 lectures program. So what is this? This is a function prime. But is this function created inside the class or what? No. And this is the function reverse. But is it created inside the class? No. Alright, so if the function has been created inside the class, do not declare the word function. It is understood. Some of them are properties. If it is not property, means if it is ending with round bracket, it's a function. Clear? So if this function is common to every animal object, coded in common inside the design, it will become a part of the design. Correct or not, people? Design इसी को बोलते हैं जो सबके पास common होंगी. Let this displaying function be a part of the design of each object. Correct? Right? Come on. Whenever this function display is called, what it has to do? Document dot write. Give some break. Give some break. All right. Plus, come on, how many properties of each animal always you want to display? 4 property. Okay, number 1, first property is what? Name. I will not write name, instead I will write this dot name. Okay, second question, I keep it marked now. First one was, what is the use of this round bracket after the name of the class? Second question which we are keeping unanswered, what is this keyword this? Got it? Come on, this dot name, this dot color, this dot weight, and this dot height. You understood? This dot name, this dot color, this dot weight, and this dot height. You see, this is how the function display is looking now. Okay, now let me make it clear what is the meaning of the word this. This का मतलब क्या होता है? Let me make it clear. Point number 1, let me come back to the notepad file. This is a pointer. It always and always point to the currently calling object. Okay, or let me call it as current calling object. Okay, current calling object. People, it's a pointer. It always points at. How we speak in Hindi? Point. मतलब उंगली इशारा करना. इशारा. That is what is point. संकेत. Am I right? It always points at. It raises the finger at the currently called object or the current calling object. For example, those who did not understand at all, आप बोलोगे document dot write name. Come on, if you just write name, see, Visual Studio Code has given us strike, means this is wrong. अरे तो whose name to display ना? किसका नाम डिस्प्ले करना है भाई? यू सी हाउ वी आर डिस्प्लेइंग हियर. A1 ऑब्जेक्ट आल्सो हैज अ प्रॉपर्टी नेम. A2 ऑब्जेक्ट आल्सो हैज अ प्रॉपर्टी नेम. आगे जाकर A3 प्रॉपर्टी विल आल्सो हैव नेम. देन A4 डॉट नेम, A5 डॉट नेम. तो whose name to be displayed? You got my point? Fine. So when you write this, now see what we will do. Let us comment this line. After creating an object, we will simply write A1 dot display. Understood? Why A1 dot display? First of all, you cannot write just display. वो बोलेगा function is not defined. Am I right? Because this function is not any ordinary function. This is the function of the class, right or not, people? And if it is a function of the class, only object of the class can use that. Correct? I repeat this point again. पहली बात तो ऐसा आप नहीं लिख सकते हो display. अरे how are you calling display? Display any ordinary function or what? No. This function is defined inside the class, right? But if it is a function inside the class, not everyone can use them. Only object of the class has right to use it. Correct? Fine. So similarly, before using an object name, come on, the way before using property name, we have used the object name. Even before using the function name, we have to write the object who is calling this function. Got it? So A1 dot display. Now A1 is the caller of the function display. Clear? Display को किसने बुलाया? Come on, my upfront question to you. Animal class के display function को किसने बुलाया? Who called? Those who don't understand Hindi here. Who called the function display of the class animal object A1? That means in this definition, this will be substituted by A1. You understood? This keyword, this will be substituted by the name of the caller, that is A1. So now read this document dot write. Document dot write A1 dot name, A1 dot color, A1 dot weight, A1 dot height. Is it okay? Fine. So similarly this was object A2. Object A2 has reinitialized values of these three property. इसको हम manually print नहीं करेंगे. How we will print instead? A2 dot display. Let display function be called to display the details of A2. Got it? Let the function from the class be called to display the properties and details of A2. Are you understanding? Now because A2 is calling display, when the control will come here to call the display function, जब control class के अंदर आएगा, उसकी definition में word this पड़ेगा, this will be replaced by the name of the caller who is A2 right now, and this dot name will be substituted by A2 dot name, A2 dot color, followed by A2 dot weight and height. Is that okay? Yes, my friend Chirag, by default they are public. Is it fine? By default it is public unless you specify it to be private. Okay, there are some exceptions also. But as of now we will ever encounter them. The chances are less. So we concluded this way they are public. Yes, object of the class is called. No, my friend, no. Rajiguru, object of the class is not called as a constructor. Understood? We have not yet used the word constructor. We have not yet learned constructor. Okay, come on, tell me, is the concept of this clear, everybody? Is the concept of this clear or not? I am waiting for your answer. आप हाँ ना बोलेंगे, हम तो ये आगे बढ़ेंगे. Even if it is not understood what is this, please acknowledge in the chat section. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. What about the others? Clear. Thank you. What about Krishnan? What about Rakesh? What about Pranali? Those names what I can read here. What about Saurav Prasad? Saurav? Good, good. Why did we create the function? You understood or what? हमने बनाया ही क्यों by the way इसको? So that this line of code again and again to be written could be said, right? If every object, after creating every object you want to display its detail, This is common to everyone, so make it as a part of the design. Am I right? Integrate this as a part of the design, na? Class उसी को बोलते हैं भाई. That is only what is called as a class. Thank you Sandeep, thank you Pranali, thank you Vivek. Okay, Vivek is asking एक बार फिर से बता दो. चलेगा. चलो देख लेते हैं. Vivek, see one more time. Okay, in short, I explain again. See, A1 is equals to new animal. Okay, so we have already written some default values to the properties of animal, name, dog, color, and so on. If I want to print them manually, this is the code. After creating A1, we are printing the properties of A1 manually. A1.name, A1.color, A1.weight, A1.height. But not only A1 people, suppose there is A2 also, A3 also, A4 also. 100 objects of animals are there. Are you getting it? There are 100 objects. तो 100 के 100 ऑब्जेक्ट के लिए हम थोड़ी उनकी प्रॉपर्टी डिस्प्ले करने की कोड लिखते बैठेंगे, करेक्ट? Yes, we are not going to write the code to display the properties of this object. Displaying the property of the object, if it is common for all the 100 of them, better integrate this feature as a part of the design only, right? इसको आप डिजाइन मतलब क्लास के अंदर ही क्यों नहीं इंटीग्रेट कर देते हो? And let object simply call the function. Right? So next time, instead of me manually printing using document.write the properties, I will make A1 to call the function display. Correct? But when you go inside display, it says print or document.write this.name. What is the meaning of this? This is a pointer who always point at the current calling object. Who called display currently? A1. A1, correct? So this will be substituted by the name of the caller, that is A1. अंदर ऐसे होगा people. A1.name, A1.color. You got my point. A1.weight, A1.height. Okay, and suppose similarly, if suppose A2 is calling, so this will be replaced by A2. A2.name, A2.height and all. Good. Is that okay? All of us fine? So I think we were creating third object, people. Third object. Okay, with name cow. Color of the animal as white. Height as some 2 meter and weight as some 100 kg. Okay, so let me not write this complicated code with every time handling breaks and all. Just make A3 to call the function display. Okay, so control will go here, and who is the caller of the function display? A3. This will be substituted by the name of the caller, that is A3. Right, is that clear? All of us here, fine. Okay, now people listen to me. I want to create, as I told you, 3-4 more animal objects. Okay, somebody name is cow, then I want to create lion, then I want to create tiger. Everyone comes with a different color, different height, different weight. Now I am fed up. Understood? Fed up means what? You see, I have to remember the names of this property. इधर मैंने गलती कर दिया ना, नेम का N कैपिटल दे डाला, कलर का C कैपिटल दे दिया, सेव. Run. 1 minute. It's just printing two times because somewhere this document.write. Can I get comment this code? Okay. Dog, cat, and again dog. Okay, you see A1 data is getting displayed, A2 data is getting displayed, but this information about cow is not getting displayed. Okay, see what it is showing by default. Dog, black. It is taking 102. Am I right? 102 it is taking, but this name and color, it is not getting printed. Why? Because if this was not found, it will take default. This property was not found. You got my point? This property was not found. So if I could come here. Okay, fine. So it's simply ignored. I hope you understood. Even the console is not giving me any problem here. But the name cow is been not printed, right? Instead, it is giving preference to the default properties. Right? So similarly, I write here height ka H capital, weight ka W capital. I save this and I go to print. No, but where is the my height and weight which I entered? This is some default information getting printed, correct? Fine. So point number 1, listen to me carefully now. I am fed up. I say for 100 animals, who is going to type the names of these 4 properties 100 times, correct? A3.name, A4.name, A5.name. Who is going to write the names of these 4 properties 100 times? Who is going to write this equal to and initialize a value 100 times, right? Fine. So I should have some method, some solution in between that right while creating an object, I should be able to enter the properties of the object. You understood? जैसे कि मुझे ये काम करना ही ना पड़े, guys. I don't want to remember the names of the property. Say, what if there are not 4? There are 400 properties of the animal. You got my point? Okay, ऐसी 4 नहीं भाई, 400 प्रॉपर्टी है एक एक ऑब्जेक्ट की. तो 400 प्रॉपर्टी का नाम कौन याद रखकर टाइप करता जाएगा, करेक्ट? Yes, my friend, value of the property overwriting. People, I want this question to be acknowledged from your end. Is my concern clear to you? My class animal, come on everybody who is attending my class online here, live here. My open question to you is, my class animal has 4 properties, right? You assume there is no 4. There are 400 properties. There are so many classes. For example, class loan, bank loan. तो 2-3 थोड़ी हजारों प्रॉपर्टीज है वहां पे. You understand? So assume my class animal is not having just 4. It has 400 property. Number 2, you want to create not 5, 6, 100 object. अरे तो 100 ऑब्जेक्ट के लिए ये 400 प्रॉपर्टी ईच कौन टाइप करता जाएगा, करेक्ट और नॉट? फाइन. Therefore, object-oriented programming comes with a concept called as constructor. Okay, you go by the name. Let me first write the technical definition of the constructor. It constructs, people, constructor, na? Opposite of destructor, got it? The way we say construction. क्यों कहते हैं हम उसको constructor? Because it constructs the objects in memory. You understood? Construct the objects in memory. Now, what is my definition of constructor? Try to understand. Constructors, people, constructors are, if not 100% of the time, at least 99% of the time, 99.99% of the time, constructors are used to accept the values of the properties. Okay, they are used to accept and initialize. Come on, focus on these 2 words, people. Initialize. Okay, focus on these 2 words. Constructors are used to accept and initialize values of the properties. Now, what constructor says? Don't take this pain on your shoulder. ये तकलीफ आप मत उठाओ. Come on, what I'm marking here, see, ये सब तकलीफ आप मत उठाइए. You don't type the names of this property. You don't take efforts to remember them. N का name का N is capital or small. Weight का W is capital. G is capital small. You don't take these efforts and hard pain. You just tell me what height you want, what weight you want, what name you want. I will do the initialization. Clear? Fine. I speak the point for the last time. Constructor says, भाई आपको क्या value assign करना है बोल दो. Name is what? Cow. Okay. I'm asking you question. What is the weight? 100. You tell me. Okay. So you just tell me the values. I will do the assignment of this value to respective properties. Okay, so let's see what is a constructor and how to code this. First of all, I get rid of all these name properties here, because now next time onwards properties will be defined inside the constructor. Okay, see, I comment them in case if you want for the future use. Okay, here comes a constructor. Constructor is the keyword to define the constructor. Constructor is a special function in the class, therefore it has round brackets and a block. Okay, yes, you can code a default constructor with no argument, but right now I'm coding constructor with 4 arguments: A, B, C, D. Okay, I write one comment here in case if you are doing self-study later. Properties of the class are created and initialized inside the constructor. Okay, I repeat for the last time. Properties are created, guys. No, ये गलत था जो हम अब तक कर रहे थे. No fool will declare the properties this way. Got it? So properties are always created. Properties are always initialized, not outside but inside the constructor. Look how. This is my first property. What do you think? I will write name? No, I will write this dot name. Assign it to what? Dog? No, incoming value which is present in variable A. What is the second property? This dot color. What to write? Black, red and white? No, whatever is the value coming from the argument B. Similarly, this dot weight. What to write? 30 or 100? No, whatever value is been brought by argument C. This dot height, whatever value is been brought by argument D. So this is how the constructor works. Okay, and the first question which we left unanswered, people, why did you write round bracket after name of the class? See, name of the class never ended with round bracket, correct or not? Because round brackets after the name of the class, come on, round brackets after the name of the class during object initialization, okay, is the call to its constructor. I hope. How to specify argument? I think arguments are specified. People, focus on this point. Try to understand the meaning of this sentence. Come on, quick. Take little efforts from your side. इसका meaning आप एक बार खुद करिए. Alright, round brackets after the name of the class. For example, like this: A1 is equals to new animal. Okay, so this round bracket is a call to the constructor of the class. Now when you go to call the constructor of the class, you will find, come on, यहाँ से जब control ऊपर जाएगा to call the constructor, girls and boys, see, you will be trapped. आप अटक जाओगे, you will get stuck up. Why? Because it will see that the constructor is accepting 4 argument और आपने तो एक भी argument नहीं pass किया यहाँ पे. So let me call this class with 4 arguments. And name of the animal, cow. First argument A. Am I right? Color, say black. Okay. Third argument, weight, let me say 100. Height, let me say 2 meter. Okay. Now if you say A1.display, people, A1.display. Let me save this. Let me run this. You see cow, black, 102. Is that clear? Fine. Okay. So similarly, create object A2 also by calling the constructor of the class. Okay. Say bullock. Let me call it as again black or brown something. Weight, let me say 150. Height, let me say 2.3. Okay, so what will happen? All this work will be saved. ये सब करना ही नहीं पड़ा. Delete it. Just write a2.display. Correct? You are understanding? See, only 2 lines of code now. Just 2 lines of code and your work is done. Hello friends, just 2 lines of code and your work is done. Okay, fine. So what about A3? A3 people, A3. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so A3 constructor call will accept 4 argument. Let me call the first argument as cat, color as brown or white, weight as 12 and height as 0.7 meter. Finally A3.display, A3.display, and here we go. So this is how it is getting created. People, is the concept clear? Understood? Good. Can we pass argument through user input? Yes, Navin, you can. You understood? So उसके लिए पहले क्या करना पड़ेगा? यूजर इनपुट के लिए हमको क्या करना पड़ेगा? देखिए, before creating object, take the input. You understood? Before creating object, take the input. Say name is equal to, or let me write like this. What should I write? I is equal to, or x is equals to. Okay. Prompt box. Enter the name. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. Then enter the color, or you can take this inputs from HTML text boxes as well. Input type is equals to text. Enter the weight and enter the height. Okay. Now if you want to print these only, so what we'll do here? These values we will replace by this variable. Say x, y, z, and let me call it as w. Can I? W, people. So what will I pass here? What will I pass here? I won't pass these 4 arguments. Instead I will pass x, y, z and w. Hoping you are understanding. Good. Right? Let me see if it works. If it works well. If it doesn't, then I'll show you some other way out. Okay. Enter the name. Let me say the name is sheep. Enter the color. So the color is white. Enter the weight is say 70. Enter the height is say 1.4. So cool, it is working. Am I right? Navin, if you could quickly acknowledge your question. Can I pass user values? I took it through user value. If you have to read this data from some text box, you will have to say x is equals to document.getElementById.value, right? अगर किसी टेक्स्ट बॉक्स से लेना है तो वैसे पढ़ना पड़ेगा. Correct. So it is working. All of us people, come on, let's quickly put up together what we have learned up until now. You see the code is looking so decent now. Am I right? A1, create an object, initialize the object. Create an object, initialize, display the object. Am I right? So first of all, object-oriented programming. People, what is the concept of this? Before coding any object, you create its design first. Am I right? Design is made up of, object-oriented programming is made up of classes and objects. Class is always the master design. Object are its copies. Correct? Every object in object-oriented programming have 2 features. Objects have some properties. Objects have some function. Okay, remember, constructors in the classes are used to initialize the properties. What is the use of this? This is a pointer. It always points to the current calling object. So if the function is a2 and a2.display, this will be replaced by a2. Okay, I have one question, guys. I have one question here. So inside the constructor, what is this keyword this doing? This. Okay, for example, if you're creating an object a1, so that means this constructor is right now called by a1, correct? क्योंकि आप object a1 बना रहे थे जब constructor को call गया, that means the constructor is been currently called by a1. Therefore, inside the definition of the constructor, this will be replaced by, substituted by the name of the caller, that is A1. Correct? So not name but A1.name, A1.color and all. So that these different properties will be constructed for different objects. Correct? The memories of these properties will be constructed different for different objects. I hope you understood up until now. All of us clear till here? Fine. Okay, what left in that file to be revised? Okay, constructor, it construct the objects, the memories for the objects. Otherwise, constructor are used to accept as argument the values of the properties and initialize them. Understood? Good. Fine. Okay, that is a call to the constructor. That means a round bracket after the name of the class. Is it okay? All of us here, people, fine. What next to be spoken? We have 10-15 minutes more to go. So let's do one thing. Let's quickly create a small class vehicle people, with three properties. Name of the vehicle, the maximum speed with which the vehicle can travel, and the mileage of the vehicle. Okay, so name of the vehicle, speed of the vehicle, and let's not create name this time, not name. So speed, mileage and capacity. Okay, capacity, for example, a car comes with a capacity of 4 ideally. A motorbike or a motorcycle capacity 2. A bus capacity 100. Yes, iska hi topic hai. Yes, not of wheels. Okay, fine, number of wheels is another property. You are right, Chirag is right, number of wheels also. Say if it's a motorcycle 2, auto rickshaw 3 and so on. Okay, fine. So here we go people, here we go. I create another class here. Okay, if you don't mind, I comment the remaining part of the code. Okay, quick. So this is my class vehicle. Okay, vehicle. Class opens, class close. Do not give the opening closing round bracket here. That is only for the function declaration. Classes are designs, not function. Okay, remember, classes should have constructor to initialize values of its properties. So let me create a constructor with 3 properties here, A, B, C. Okay, so this dot speed, A, incoming value of the variable A will be assigned to speed. This dot let me say capacity, that is B, and last I'm taking, you take as many more as you want, mileage, that is C. Once again I'm having a function called as a display people. Okay, so this function display is going to say document dot write, okay, break, and I also want to write it with some bold tag. Okay, in a bold tag people. This dot speed, this dot capacity, this dot mileage. Okay, my bold tag closes. The bold tag closes. Okay, have a look at this code people. Have a look at this one line code. If you're unable to see this way, I paste it here and show you. Okay, so in a bold tag I'm printing speed, capacity and mileage and making sure the bold is ended. Yeah, now as Chirag is saying, you want, you can even put up information about the number of wheels. Yes, right. Okay, the type of car it is, like it is SUV or XUV. Okay, the type of the vehicle, maybe. Alright, and many more such properties if it comes to clicks your mind. Okay, Alright, now this is the definition of the design vehicle or the class vehicle. Let's create object of it. So v1 is equals to new vehicle. So the vehicle is bus. Okay, the vehicle is bus. Try to take input from HTML text boxes also, and try, instead of just doing document.write, try to display this output on some label of HTML page using inner HTML. Okay, I gave you a hint what else you can try with them. Try to display this output on labels of an HTML page using the property inner HTML. Okay, so bus, not bus, I think we are taking speed, right? So let me call it as, this time let me give name to the variable as bus. Okay, say speed maximum 100 km per hour. Capacities, let me call it as 100. And mileage, let me say again something 120. Okay, if I'm not wrong, mileage is nothing but kilometer per liter, correct? Kilometer per liter, or just 20. Let me write it as 60. Okay, say bus dot display. Okay, likewise if I say car, name of the object, people, instead of writing it as v1 v2 or a1 a2, I'm giving some proper names. So new vehicle. Okay, speed, let me say 200 maximum speed. Capacity 4 or 5 seater. Mileage, I'm writing here 150. Bus, only two object I'm creating. So this is car dot display. You end up creating more. Okay, so this one example has revised entire 1 hour class today. This is a class. Class has properties. Class has a function. Am I right? The class, copy of the class is called as its object, like the bus is the object of the class vehicle. Car is an object of the class vehicle. Is it right? Am I right? That's what. Constructors are special functions of the classes. Constructors are used to accept the arguments and initialize them as values to its property. Always remember, properties of the class is created inside the constructor of the class. Oh yes, Chirag, why not? Is it? It is. Okay, it is. Time permit, I'll show you live how to do that. Okay, fine. Take it. So this is about the constructor, this is about the method class. Functions are also called as methods. If I could save this and come back here. Alright, so this is all that which has been printed. Okay, all of us. Take care, people. Before we could wind off today, I would quickly like to discuss with you some small things which we have left pending about array the previous day. Okay, array people, arrays. Okay, so let me do this way. I create one new file. Okay, pending array.js. Okay, and I take this array from here. Keep looking what I'm copying. I pasted it. Okay, so now let me see how do we run for loop upon an array. I think this was something we have already done. So for I is equals to 0, I to be less than a dot length, correct? I plus plus. So if length of the array is 100, the last value of I will be 99. Am I right? Because we have written less than, we have not written less than equal to, right or not, people? We have not written less than equal to, we have just written less than. So if the length of the array is 500, the last value of I will be 499, and that's what we want because index number will be 499, the last one. Okay? So if you see, I write document.write just I, that will be a foolish way to code, because it will print the values of I, people. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we don't want to print the indices, we want to print the elements on that index. Is it okay? Fine. Now I have not kept my the sheet open. Say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Index number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so when I say like this, when I say like this, for I equals 0, I less than a dot length, assume this array is A. Okay, this array is array A. Correct? A dot length. What is the length of this array? 5. I plus plus. And if you say print or document dot write I, so what is the first value of I? 0. So 0 will be printed as an output. What is the next value of I? After incrementing by 1, it will become 1. So 1 will be printed, 2 will be printed, 3 will be printed, 4 will be printed. You see, you are printing actually the index numbers. You are not printing the values stored in memory at that index. Right? So instead of printing I, what should we print? A of I. So when I is 0, A of I means A of 0. That is 10 will be printed. Similarly, when I is 4, A of I means A of 4. Correct? A of I means A of 4. What is A of 4? That is 50. 50 people. So 50 will be printed. Is it okay? Yup, A of I. Right? So that's what exactly we are learning here. So this is I, not I, but A of I. Okay. Let me save this. Let me call this program here in my HTML file. Okay, if you don't mind, I'm calling pending.js, not day 3 program, other. Okay, so 10 to 100 got printed. Good. Okay, now suppose there are two arrays, people. There are two arrays. One is A and other is B. I'm using let for no reason. I'm not bothered here for the scope. Say 110, 120, 130, 140 and 150. Okay, and suppose if I print, let me comment this. Okay, I said document dot write A dot concat B. So check what happens. A dot concat B. So that means these two arrays have been concatenated and become one array. Correct? That is what is the use of concat. Exactly the way we have concat in string. Correct? Right? So two arrays can be concatenated. Yes, you want, you can concat with many more arrays. Say concat with B, and there is one more array called as let C is equals to 160, 170, 180, 190 and 200. So concat B and C as many arrays as you want. I could save this, and if I could come here, you see this is all one array. Is that okay? All of us? Fine. Okay, there are some more functions about array. Some more functions. This what about concat? Let me see. To string we have done. Okay, good. Let's see how to use join and how join is different from concat. People, suppose if I write like this, document dot write A dot, not concat, but this time join. Okay, remember, join takes an argument which is a character with you want to join, with which you want to join. So if I write a space here, let me give a break. Let me give a break. People, see how join works. Okay. you see there is no comma this time, because by default array is displayed as a comma, correct? Array is displayed as a comma. No, Chirag, it is not changing the original array. It is returning a new array. Okay, it is returning. So if you want, you can write a dot concat b and store it in C. Chirag, are you understanding? I'm talking this way. Okay, C is equals to a dot concat b, and you can store it C, and you want later you can print C, document.write C. So it is not creating a new array. It is rather returning a new, not changing the original array, rather creating a new array. Clear? Okay, fine. Guys, I'm talking about what is the join function. Suppose if you just print array, आप join ना करो, खाली array print करो, तो देखो क्या होगा. So 10, 20, 30, but it looks ugly. I don't want comma to be printed between two elements. I don't want, I said. नहीं चाहिए. तो क्या करेंगे आप बोलो, join each element with a space. So it is not joining two array, it is rather joining the elements of within the same array with a separator. So if I write like this, asterisk, check it out. Or if I write like this, hyphen, check it out. So this is what is, let me say, a join function. Is that clear, everyone? All of us? Okay, people, I'm getting a message from my team. We need to wind off the session because our attendance link will expire. Okay, fine. I actually wanted to discuss some few things more with you, but never mind, we always have time. हमको shift सीखना है, to shift सीखना है, unshift. देख लो, एक बार देख लो, right? For example, if I write like this, a dot shift. Okay, you see what is the definition of shift plus first. Okay, if you use shift, this method removes the first element. पहला एलिमेंट को आउट करेगा, removes the first element of an array and shifts other element to the left, one place, people. Understood? First element is out and the rest other will shift one to the left until all of them are accommodated. Okay, like this. Check it out like this. So if I say a dot shift, you see what is the output? It shows you who was being removed out. So only a dot shift simply says who is the first element who was popped out. But if you print the new array, itself after shifting, so you see now 20 becomes the first fellow because 20 has taken the position of A. Is it okay? Again, this is not permanent. These changes are never made in the original array. And similarly, if you do unshift, people unshift. Yeah. Okay. Just a moment, please. Yeah. Okay, friends. Never mind. It's our responsibility. All this we will be taken care of. Okay. Yes, sir. We will be taking care of. Okay, right from unshift to concat, so we have done to for each loop as well as different methods of creating an array. Like the way we created object today, we can also create it like array object. Okay, so we will be discussing back on the next day. Our attendance link will expire. So let me quickly forward that to you first. Is it okay? All of us fine. I have a quick recap of what we have learned today by the time you all fill up the attendances. We started with the concept of object-oriented programming. In object-oriented programming, objects are designed first. Designs are called as class. The copies of this class are called as object. New is a keyword to create or initialize the object. Correct? Fine. All the objects in object-oriented programming have two common features. They have properties and they have methods, means function. Classes also have constructors. The use of the constructor is, thank you. The use of constructor is to initialize value to its properties, right? That is what is a constructor. What else we studied? How to call the constructor, right, while creating or initializing object itself. Thank you. Thank you. Right, I hope the things are pretty clear to you. We are having a question bank coming up to you shortly, either by late evening today or early morning tomorrow. By then, please keep practicing. Okay, goodbye, take care, please. Have had a nice time with you. See you back again on Monday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. Till then, do not forget, and do not forget to like, subscribe, share our channel, forward it to as many of your friends as possible to take benefit out of it. Okay, please do like our complete session. Thank you.